Hello, guys. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Race to Wrestling. And I am your man, L. Scott. As you can see, the name is definitely on the screen, people. I finally got it. I did. I've been telling people for weeks, we're going to get this thing right. I told y'all for weeks I was going to make it where it was going to be right. And y'all going to see the name on the screen so y'all can get familiar with your boy. Because I feel like what's been going on is you guys are not familiar with me. I don't get on here enough. And I haven't, I'll be honest, guys, I haven't been posting the full-length videos of what's been going on. So I apologize for that, because with that, you guys can't even see what we be talking about sometimes in full context. You've been getting little tiny chunks of everything. And I'm just getting everything down so I can talk to you guys. There you go. Got that perfect. Wanted to make sure everything was working right. Guys, I'm not going to hold you today. Like I said, we've been having a few technical issues, and unfortunately, this beautiful face is right behind me right here now. Nope, she ain't on today's episode. She woke up this morning feeling under the weather. I hit her up this morning and told her, "You ready to do this?" She said, "Nope, my head is pounding." So you're going to have just your boy today. So hopefully everything goes well, everything goes smooth. I'm not going to hold you up too long. I got a couple different things. Of course, we're going to cover what's coming up with the pay-per-view, the Elimination Chamber a little bit. Probably talk a little bit about Raw, SmackDown a little bit. But before I get there, I have to make reference to what be going on in my life, okay? So now when I've been posting, I post a lot of content about from Race to Wrestling. A lot, I do. Let me get to that a little more. It's getting distracted. There you go. Yeah, that's perfect. When I started Race to Wrestling, I started posting small chunks of content, so just to get the overall feel of my personality. And I've been posting, and when I tell you people, I get two types of responses. I get one, love, we can just have dialogue. Oh, I agree, I disagree with this, L, but I agree with this. Hey, great. Hey, love the content. Hey, love those people, right? Then you have the ones that fuck you, I don't like anything you do, and I want you to do something different. It's always the same one, and it's always it's subjective. Look, remember, people, the name of the show is Race to Wrestling. A lot of times, if you're not part of the black race, you're not going to understand our perspective of race from this position. See, I get it. It's like rich people. Rich people understand. If you've never lived poor, you don't know what the existence feels like, and vice versa, to be honest with you. A poor person really doesn't know what a rich person's existence is like. Like, I don't think a poor person understands that when your life struggle happens, like your car breaks down, your kid break an arm, you need to replace your air conditioner in your house. Rich people don't see those as issues because they just gonna pay and get it paid for and they move on. See, for you, your whole life changes when something minute breaks. Alternator goes out in your car, boop, boop, there go your trip this summer. You ain't going to the beach like you're playing because you can't got the money. You got to put that into the alternator. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm all trying to tell people, I say all that to say this, when it comes down to this content, majority of the time, if you've never lived this existence, you can't understand it. But I can promise you this, none of this is hateful. None of this is emotional. The content that we talk about and the things that we talk about on the racial lines is just coming from an analytical it comes from an analytical space. And it comes from a way of, from my experience. This is what it is. I'm not even gonna try to sound intelligent when it comes to it. So with that being said, let's start out first and foremost. I want to do this before I get into today's episode. Let me put it on the screen. I see if you guys can see. Let me pull it up for myself so I can see it. So if you guys can see, I'm sorry, I'm looking this way. This shit's on the screen for you guys. It's not for me. So I'm looking at this picture with you guys, right? So I'm looking at this photo, and this said this is the greatest the person put this up, or the place, I can't remember where I got this from. I got this somewhere. Somebody sent this to me. I can't remember what, but the context of it was, this was the greatest black wrestlers of all time. And this spoke volumes to me when I looked at this list of people, because I'm looking at this list and I'm saying this list doesn't hold any weight to any white list. And that's sad, because not to diminish any of these people on the list, but for one, these people that you see on the list didn't have amazing careers. Now, did they get to be the heavyweight champion or the WWE champion or whatever? Yes, they did. But did they have a illustrious career? No. Majority of them on the list didn't have it. I think The Rock on this list has had the most illustrious career, of course, bar none. Right behind him, we got to go to the ladies. It's got to be Bianca. Booker T did okay. Bianca and Sasha Banks. That's it. Everybody else had a pretty much a mediocre superstar existence. And I'm not to say mediocre. That's disrespectful. I don't mean to say mediocre. I'm just gonna say these people that you see on this list could have a much greater career than what we produce for them. What you see right here says to me, this is what we're gonna give you black folks to pacify y'all and tell you that they're amazing and great, but we're never even gonna come back and talk about them ever, because they don't even do that. Let's just be honest. It's not like they had a tribute show. They're not gonna call, hey, yo, let's get let's go get Ron Simmons to come out here. No, they'll get him out here to come out and say, damn. And that's it. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, but you're gonna put him in, he's in our greatest of all times. That's what I'm trying to say. It should be higher than that. Ron Simmons should have crawled so the greatest, somebody like a Rock, not just the Rock, but someone like the Rock can walk. But what I feel like they've done is this. They give it to one person and then they just sprinkle in everyone else. So, and I said all that to say this. For all the people that's always in my comment section, and I see this a lot, that tells me that I just want to make it about race, I want to say to you, how is, looking at this list that we see here, how is it that this is our greatest list when we are the most athletic people on the planet? Not only we're the most athletic people on the planet, we have, when we get into icon status on any level of anything, it's always a black person. Iconic in comedy, the greatest of all time, it's going to be a black person. Everybody contributes to Richard Pryor. If they don't say Richard, you may get Eddie Murphy, but that's about it. They're going to contribute it to them. Now, I give it to your own actor. Now, that's going to be subjective. That's going to be whatever group you talk to. Because if you're talking to Italians, it's going to be someone like a Robert De Niro. You ask most black people, they're going to say Denzel Washington. But what I would say is it would at least be a comparable person in multiple areas. When it comes down to, what's another lane? Give me another lane. I'm trying to think of another lane. When it comes to music, I mean, the king of pop, do we really need to go there? So what I'm saying is entertainers that are out there, the model is set behind black Americans. So to have the entertainment model to be set behind black Americans, like newsflash, like I got chewed out by a guy, got mad at me because I said they need to get rid of rock music and play hip hop. Because hip hop is where it's at. Most people want to hear that, even white people. And I was like, but even rock music, and this is to the guy who got mad at me. Rock music that you love so much, that started by black people. So what I'm telling you is you can't have any of these genres of anything without us. So being that that's the case, why is this our greatest list? And oh my God, it's really like in the last 10 to 20 years, everybody's in this list other than Ron Simmons pretty much, and maybe Jacqueline. Booker T was before it, but you know, his career was spanned into the last 20 years. So what I'm saying is that should tell you, don't talk to me about people saying that unfortunately race does still exist. And I said that too. Let me take this down. Let me take this down. So let me take this down. Let me take this down. Let me take this down. And let me put this up. Let me put this up right here. See this guy, this right here got me on a path. So I looked up the top 50 list. Now I do not care the order that anybody, matter of fact, let me go pull this up so I can see the damn list my damn self. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second, because I can't see the damn list my damn self. Hold on. Downloads. Hold on a second, guys. The wrong one? Thought it was. Downloads. All right, so come on, thing. All right, here we go. So now I'm looking at the list myself. I'm right here with you guys. So now I'm looking at the list. And so I'm looking at the top 50 list. It's on my screen, just like for you guys. And on this list, I realized they only have, 2, 3 black people in the top 50? So what I'm going to say is that I had a young fella get in my comment section and said that white people make up 70% of the United States demographic. So being as such, they're going to overwhelmingly at least have 70% of that will have to look white to feed their demographic. Shit, makes sense. But then I have to look at the top 50 list of greatest of all times. Don't give a damn what order is in. We end up with three people. Three people on the list. I think there was. I know it was The Rock, Sasha Banks, and I think it was Kofi Kingston, if I ain't mistaken. Oh, maybe four. Kofi Kingston. Come on, did they put Ron Simmons on here? I don't think Ron made the top 50. So what I need for you, no, Booker T. So Booker T, The Rock, Sasha Banks. That was them three, and I don't think anybody else is on this list. If I missed them, kiss my ass. But I'm going to tell you on this list, that's unfortunate. And that's what we're trying to say. Now, some people will say, well, Triple H look like he's right in there wrong with Oba Femi, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, and all the crew. They would say that. They would. I would say this. No, I'm going to wait till the jury be out until something happens. Would I be a fool to just take this and run with it? They're going to say, yes, because this has never happened before. You're right. And one thing I know before is something that's never happened before with the dominant society. I need to hold myself until show and prove. Remember, we have so many examples of times black people thought that affirmative action was for us. Nope, wasn't. Didn't end up being for you, even though they told you it was. Didn't end up being for you. We jumped out the window. Hey, civil rights movement, getting rid of Jim Crow. Nope. Didn't tell you we were gonna make you were gonna lose all your businesses, all your schools, all your grocery stores, everything was gonna go away in the process of it. So just what I'm trying to get people to understand is that for people who say just because you can name something happened in the moment, no, you cannot look to now or into the future. We have to use the past as basically a barometer or a director to where we need to go. It just is what it is. Because the only reason why you want me to look at the now and then into the future is just because then the argument leans to what you want it to be. And see, what I have to say is this. It's just like with anything else in this world. I would say to these people who question me and my way of thinking when it comes to this, understand it when it comes to look at race like this. Look at what we've experienced with you guys like this. If you are dealing with a known liar in your life, you're in a relationship, and ladies, or you were in a relationship with a lady, because there's probably a lot of men watching it. So you're in a relationship with a young lady who lies all the time. Now, she's told you many times before, oh God, I'm going to stop lying. I promise you, I'm not going to keep lying to you. Sorry. Okay. You believed her 100 times, and 100 times she's failed you. Well, then something dramatic happened, and some behavior started looking and trended in the right direction. Would you still just jump out the window and say, great, she gets 100% of my trust now because she trended in the right direction? No, bitch, you're going to say, you're going to have to show and prove. And it's going to take a while for that to happen. So I need for everyone to understand, for people who get angry with us, who have a problem with what we see or our representation in this sport. You have to understand, the burden of proof falls on your side of the fence, not this one. You cannot ask us to just go with it. You have to prove it to us, and then we can go with it. But until then, we will have to be critical of what happens. Now, and I know you're going to say, well, stop watching. I know if we stop watching, it goes away. You don't want that. I know you're going to say, the numbers don't support that. It's not about numbers, sir. It's about energy. Energy validates things. Why do you think so much things like hip hop and things like this are everywhere? Why do you think that every movie that you see and things that get put out is flooded with black content? It's because we're the heartbeat of a lot of those things, the culture. It is. I know that's not, people don't like to hear that. But in wrestling, it even fits that. Look at the Usos. The Usos in wrestling literally are black men. Now people will say they're melanated. I agree. But there's a difference between being melanated and being black American. Because that's really what the culture comes from, is black American people. So what it is that they're literally, everyone's okay with it. No one's tripping. So this is not me getting angry and telling they need to. I don't have an issue with the Usos. What I'm saying is that the Usos has the whole theme, and that's why they're popular. When they were being Samoans, no one cared. There's only one, well, Jacob Fatu, and I'll say, well, now, because Jacob, Solo, and Roman are being, Roman comes off like and this, good God, this is going to get me in trouble. Oh, God. Roman isn't Samoan to white people. Now, I get it. To everyone, we all love him. We all adopt him like us. We know that he's married to a black woman, so we love him. We love, look at this man. We're going to invite him to the cookout. I know there's black people, Samoans say, oh God, he's represented us well. We love him to death. And then white people say, I don't see any of that shit. Keep it away from us. He's a white man to us. And he's an attractive white man. And that's what they love. That's why he's winning. So he's not really even portraying Samoan, even though he has the Oba Olafala. I can't even know if I said it right. Even though he's carrying that around all day long, and he has the Samoan tattoo, nobody looks at him as that. We see Jay and Jimmy as Usos. We see them as Samoans. We don't see Roman as that. We see Jacob as a Samoan. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Yo, guys, side note for Jacob Fatu. I love Fatu. We ain't even call him Jacob. We need to get rid of Jacob to call him Fatu. He Fatu. Fatu needs to, Jake Fatu, let me say that for context. Jacob needs, they need to stop with the, stop that. Now that sometimes can get on borderline of cosplaying, so stop doing that. Don't do that. Especially if you're gonna have a man listening to rock music. That shit is contradictory as shit. I don't know. It makes no earthly sense to me. But anyway, side note, I move on from that. That's just my whole thing. My whole thing in there was that, and I wanted to say about that whole picture that I had up was that The Rock should not be the only one that is in rare air. Matter of fact, let me put this up here one more time because I need to make this statement real quick, and then I put this back up there. The Rock on this list that we see here is the only one technically that's in rare air. I think outside of that, probably the person who came the closest probably to him now, and unfortunately, it has to probably be, I would say Bianca. Probably Bianca. Sasha or Bianca. Those are the next two. Because everyone else, Mark Henry, let's just be honest. They tell you he's an amazing guy. He's great. He's great like George the Animal Steel would be great. That's how we look at Mark. And whether people like it or not, it's true. Mark Henry is on the lines on his superstardom hit a Jake Roberts level. It did. Even though he became heavyweight champion, all that other jazz, he was really, really good. He had a really good image. I loved him. Don't get me wrong. This is no disrespect to Mark Henry's career, but he was not right here, and we know that. Bobby Lashley could have potentially been it. Y'all didn't want it. For whatever reason, y'all said, we don't want Bobby Lashley to be a star. So Bobby Lashley, literally his career, and the reason, and people can say, that's bullshit. That is not bullshit. You tell me where a star in your company unceremoniously just leaves the company and they let him go. But he's supposed to be in rare air. No, they didn't treat him like rare. Brock Lesnar has had allegations. Brock Lesnar has talked trash about the company. Brock Lesnar did been on I won't say what he was on, but I heard he was on some substances at certain points. All this stuff is going on. He's still loved there. When he gets stale, they change it up. They move on. Bobby Lashley, hey, what happened to him? We don't even know what happened to him. That's what happens. And so that's what I want people to understand. When you get down to this list, they did everybody poorly. And like I say, like, hell, I forgot. Goddamn, this should tell you how bad it is. Alicia Fox down at the bottom. I didn't even know until this moment. And I've been looking at this picture all day. Alicia Fox, but they treated Alicia Fox claimed to fame, should be, and I think this one was a hell of an actress. When she played crazy, come on, let's be honest. Did Alicia Fox not play crazy? She played the hell out of crazy. But for some reason, they never wanted her to be the star. Her claim to fame to me is going to be letting the early bird Nia Jax throw her around like a rag doll. If y'all remember that. When Nia first got there, Alicia Fox put her over so well. And I said, bravo, because when I watched that match, she took them bumps like crazy. This woman was literally throwing her around against the barricade like a rag doll. So I remember that, Alicia Fox. To me, tells me potential was there. An attractive woman, an exotic looking attractive woman. You know how they love those. And so you had that. Heard rumors of potential. Let me stop. I was ready to talk about what I heard backstage about her personal life, what she wouldn't do, but I don't know, so I ain't gonna disparage that. So what I'm saying is that she had talent, she looked nice, she could take the bumps, she could act. These Fox ain't in nobody's top 10. Won't never be. I look at the list. People like to say Trinity. Let's just be honest. See, to me, I'm a Trinity fan. I'm a Naomi fan. When you're a true Naomi Trinity fan, this is tell you how much I'm a fan. I'm gonna tell y'all a freaking secret. Y'all better not tell nobody. Just because she was on Divas and my daughters watched Divas, I sat right down there and watched her and John right there because I love them to death. Because they were so entertaining. Trinity should have been a bigger star. You know why they didn't ever? And don't tell me she was. No, she didn't. Trinity star trending up when she went out recently with her pregnancy. Up until that point, every time she had, other than that one time at WrestleMania, they gave her a night. She got one night. That's one thing they like to do, black folks. They give you a night, and then people will use that as a justification for all the bullshit that black folks go through. You remember that one night that Trinity, Trinity got one good night at WrestleMania. She won the championship. Outside, this woman's been in this company forever, like a Seth Rollins been in this company forever. Seth Rollins been reinvented 32 times, and he's been in the main event 32 times. Let's just be honest. Trinity, right before she left with Sasha Banks, when they left right before that, for the last few years leading up until that point, she was literally there just to get beat up on at the end of SmackDown for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but was never relevant at all after that one run she had. Y'all can say whatever you want, but that's what I remember. And then thinking back to that and then thinking of what she had to go through now, I always say what she was doing recently was not even the plan. You cannot convince me that Triple H and them said, Trinity, we're going to use you and we're going to make you a superstar by being the bridge between between Jade and Bianca. Because remember, this is where it's trending at this point. Everybody can see it's Jade Bianca. We're trending this way before Bianca hurt herself. And here comes Trinity. Boom. Trinity hit you with that night. She put them tears out there, them real tears about how she felt about how the company shit on her. Because that's what she was telling y'all. That reason why Trinity acted so well that night when she was talking to Bianca, whether y'all realize it or not, she was speaking from the heart about how that company treated her. Yes, Naomi was on there. Where are we going to go? We're going to call her Naomi for the context of the show. Naomi was speaking to Bianca, telling them that y'all basically had overlooked her, and just overlooked her over and over and over again. And how if she felt so disrespected, but no more, she was going to feel disrespected like that. And I'm going to tell you, that's what made her a star, because everybody in that room felt her and felt her pain. I am not the only one that knows that's what she was talking to. I am just the first person that's probably said it out loud. That's all that I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So Trinity, I tell you like this, sister, baby girl, you on this list out of all the women, and I love me some Jade and Bianca, and I'm a nice fan of Sasha. I just think Sasha King ain't the best on the mic. But when it comes down to Naomi, she is my favorite, even over Jacqueline. Jacqueline will beat your ass. Jacqueline should have been wrestling men. But but Naomi had something I think all of them did not have. She had charisma. She had the greatest finisher of all the women up there, if y'all remember. We should call that shit the bookend. That's what that should have been named. But then on top of it, the booty. It just was all nice. All that came together. The only thing I would tell Trinity that I would have never done, and I wish she would stayed away from and never did, was that glow shit. Because that stuff right there, they turned you into a character, baby girl. You, honestly, remember when Trinity got her eye socket pop? And she had to wear that little patch over her and she was wearing all black? That should have been the look she went with, especially. I like Caution too. I ain't got no problem with that. She can roll with that. That was cool. I was just saying, outside of that, those were her two ones. But that glow shit, to me, I feel like they just turn you into like a female version of the New Day. They might have stuck you with them because that's how they had you acting. And I can keep going on and on. And matter of fact, fuck it. We can talk about the show all the time. We always talk about the damn show. Show boring as hell. We're going to get there. But now on this list, let's just be honest. Let's look at the list. Let's go on the list. Cause matter of fact, I'm be honest with you. I've been wrecking my brain. And the girl on the end down here, right underneath Mark Henry, right beside Bianca. I've been racking my brain. I remember her face. I ain't gonna lie. I can't tell who the fuck that is. I've been trying. I do not know. And I said, I know this lady's face, but I cannot place her name at all. Can't place a match, nothing, but I know the face. I can't place who that is and the dude behind her. Somebody please tell me who that is. And maybe I missed it. I did. Like you say what it is, but I don't. He said it was just a horrible drawing. But I'm trying to see. I was like, is that Titus O'Neil? Is that Titus? You better not put Titus on the goddamn list. Because I was like, that better not be Titus. But like I said, you heard how I feel about Mark Henry. So I'm not going to beat you down the drum about that. Bianca, to me, was a star out of nowhere. So thank you, Mark Henry, hell, just for bringing us Bianca, because Bianca is a star. Side note, let's just have to say it and get it over with again. I cannot say this, I shouldn't even bring this up again. I said I won't go talk about it again. But Bianca, baby girl, please. Bianca, I don't know why you felt like you had to hide. I don't know. Maybe it's a religious thing, and your mama and daddy was like, "Oh God, girl, we don't want nobody." Well, no, because you were my dad's married, so it couldn't be religious. I don't know what the issue was, but we all can tell that you're pregnant, baby, or what you had a baby. I mean, I get the finger stuff. I think that you showed us the video. I saw the video. I saw the pictures. I saw the rehab for the finger, baby girl. I promise you, we think that's old. We think this is old footage that you finally putting up because it's too many whispers and rumors from people like myself saying you had a baby, but you didn't help your case at all with them Valentine's Day photos. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everyone knows if you from the hood or if you've been raised around black folks, every time a young lady, a black woman, don't have a baby. I shouldn't have said it. But every time a black woman have a baby and she ain't too happy with the way her pudge is looking, especially if she was used to having a six pack, she has a way of covering it with her arm, hiding it with her jacket, and in your case, she took that little feather thing and covered that thing right on up in every photo. You look cute though, you did, but you was definitely hiding that baby bump. But I digress. Let me move on. I'm sorry, Bianca, baby. We can tell. In this list, like I said, outside of that, told you how I feel about Bobby Lashley. I think y'all disrespected that young man. Of course, y'all disrespected him. He didn't have to take it. That man unceremoniously left the company. Y'all don't care nothing about him. Jacqueline, baby girl. I'm just gonna keep going. Jacqueline, baby girl. Jacqueline, like I said, I think Jacqueline should have been able to fight. Jacqueline, they're gonna say Jacqueline wasn't China because of her size. Get it? I can't argue with it. That's a valid argument to have. It's a valid excuse. Let me say that, because I think it still is an excuse, but it's a valid excuse. And so, being as it's an excuse, my whole thing is that moving forward, I just think Jacqueline was just way better. I think that China had the size, but she had no personality. Jackie was the original. I'm gonna beat your ass and then make it look real. Well, I'm gonna make it look real like I'm beating your ass. Let me say it that way, because she did that. Jackie would hit. Jackie does it. Trinity can do it. Excuse me, I keep calling her Trinity. I'm gonna make it fine. Naomi can do it, but the best probably at it currently is Bianca. Bianca can fight like she really beating you up with her fist. And Jacqueline was the queen of it. And I think Jacqueline was probably stronger than Ox. And I'm gonna tell you how I know she was disrespected. And y'all don't believe she's a superstar, all-time Hall of Famer. Y'all don't never call her. I heard her talk about asking y'all to make her let her come back. Whether it's to wrestle, take a bump, whatever it is, she's willing to do it. Y'all don't want her there. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is that don't tell us that our people get treated the same. No, our people get used, and when they done with you, they discarded you, but they never celebrate you. Something I shouldn't bring up on this channel because it's something that I like to use on my other podcast that talks more about life, is that what y'all have to understand when it comes to what race has played for black people like this, they have a game that they play. Anything that let's just compare anything that white people get, right, on their side that makes them like great. If black people get the same accolade, it's actually the end of their career. Did you know this? You don't agree? It's the truth. Okay, so if you win an Oscar, if you're Robert De Niro, you become Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, you become I'm 50, 60 bajillion million dollars a year I can ask for even movie if I come out of retirement, if for whatever. He's gonna make that type of money. But then if you take a Halle Berry career fell off right after she won her Oscar. Cuba Gooding Jr. career fell off right after he won his Oscar. So I know Jamie Foxx has struggled to get quality film work. He's just an amazing man, but he's the Ray movie. He struggled to do anything after the fact when it comes to that. He's probably the one that has weathered it the best, but everybody has fell off when it came to it. This is how the system works, and I just think that has worked for too many of these people. Beside that was a side note. It had nothing to do with wrestling. Hey, just for anybody listening in the wrestling clip, hey, and same thing applies for wrestling. So, all right. Who else is on this damn list? Oh, listen, Rock, we all know. The Rock is, one thing people don't understand about how, I won't say the SW word, but how the SW works. Maybe you can read between the lines. How that works is that it likes to have buffers. So, like in slavery time, they had some people that were free, some people that were enslaved. Majority was enslaved. They had a handful of free black people who owned land, who owned businesses, and who were doing well. So, what do you think the slaves? That was the excuse. They had the slave had something to strive to want to be. They wanted to be like the free black folks. But goddamn, why am I telling you this story? I don't even know why I'm telling you the story. Let me just leave this story alone. I don't need to go down that road anyway with you guys. But I look at that, then I look at Kofi, I look at Big E. Both of them have had lackluster careers. Big E's was a little bit better than Kofi. Kofi was probably the most disrespected. Kofi's had one of the most disrespectful wrestling endings of his reign and to his career, to be honest, in the history of wrestling. People they don't like to bring it up, but I'm sorry. When I think of what Kofi had to experience with Brock Lesnar beating him in such a fast time, and then being the fact of to this day, Kofi needs to go down to Adam Pearce's office and say, hey, bitch, I need my return match from 17 years ago because I never got it. Because the man he just disappeared and he just he just been lost in oblivion with the rest of his little homeboy, Xavier Woods, with his horrible dressing self. So that's what we're doing. It's what it is. I think I covered everybody, but that's what it is. You know how they do Jade. You know how it is. And I'm not even gonna come. Booker T, that's what I forgot. Shit, I forgot about my main. Booker T is my prime example. Booker T is going to be my example. Then I'm going to move on to the show. Booker T is a prime example. Prime example of what another superstar should have been. But he didn't get it. They cut him short right at the knee. Right at the pinnacle of success. Y'all know what I'm talking about when Triple H shitted on him. That was his coup de grace moment to be able to see if he could run and hold that company down as that dude. And they said, nope. Let the gang and the crew get together and block him out. And that's what they did. So Booker T, y'all lucky that he is one of those types of black men who is willing to allow y'all to disrespect him and keep, because y'all do disrespect him all the time. He don't even realize it. But Booker T is disrespected all the time in that business. Booker T should have been a national treasure in that business. Booker T, and dare be said, was more athletic than The Rock. Yes. I ain't gonna fucking say. I said dare to be a yes. Some of the things this man could do. Just imagine just put it like this. If Booker T was 73'8", 469 shades lighter, best believe Booker T would have been the superstar of them all time. Oh, if he was a white man, they would have loved him. Booker T is a great man. Athleticism through the roof. Personality through the roof. Tell me what he could not do. But yet and still, his reign will get lost. You want to know how I know it? Because on the list that they put out, how many people what number did he fall on that list? Let's see. Let's see where he fell on the list. Let's see. Where did he fall on it? Because I know he fell somewhere on this list. Hold on. Let me see. I'm so out of whack here. Booker T fell 33. So they're trying to tell me as I look at this list that China, guys, is a higher ranked person than Booker T. China. Wow. I'm sitting here looking at the list thinking to myself, people that you put on the list, I get some of the people put on it, but, and it's subjective, I'm not going to yell in anger, but when I say China in front of, when I see Charlotte Flair in front of, hell, when I see Jake Roberts, Trish Stratus in front, what the, get Edge and Seth Rollins should not be in front of Booker T. Becky Lynch should not be in front of Booker T. I'll give you Triple H, even though I disagree, but it's fine. That's subjective. I'll take CM Punk, fine, and you'll say that's subjective. You can say Randy Orton, that's fine. That is subjective to me, and even down to Eddie Guerrero. I'm just staying right down that list. That is subjective to me. But you're not going to sit there and tell me the man should be higher on the list than Booker T. And if she is to you people, don't talk to me ever again about racism. It's been proven right there. I digress. Moving on. Let's move on from there, people. Let's move on. Hold on one second. Something I want to dive into first. Let's get into this. It's going to be, hold on, good Lord. It's going to be this. This is the rumor I'm hearing. I don't know if this is true or not, but the rumors that I'm hearing is that the WWE are going back to PG-14 or TV-14. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to get the graphics together. Good Lord, this is all out of whack. Sorry about that. So, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think it's a good move that they should do. I do. The reason why I think they should do it is because your brand, people, is dying. Whether we like it or not, you can see, just like I see, this brand is dying. Hold on one second. Let me get some of this stuff off the screen so we can save some time and some energy. Hold on. Boom. There we go. So get rid of that. All right. So there we go. So, so what I want people to realize is this. We're going to talk about the show. And the first thing out the show, I want to just say this. The show is dying. The crowd is not into it because you guys are giving them the same story over and over and over and over and over again. It's getting redundant at this point. I think even the people themselves are just saying, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Because if you're not watching the content, all right, watching the crowds are not there. We talked about this on last week's episode, that the crowds are not there solely because the tickets prices are too high. And no one's going to spend that money to watch CM Punk wrestle everyone. It's just not going to happen. I'll give you a classic example. I think everybody loves Punk. I do. I love Punk too. Love him. There's never disrespect. When I say things about his age, it's not about him. It is about how the company is prioritizing him and not thinking of the future, if that makes sense. But I love Punk just like everyone else. I'm going to speak about Punk and Roman. I love Roman just like everyone else. I think, like I said, for Roman, we all give Roman a pass because we all know Roman, his illness that he has. So there's no way he could do what he used to do. And I think we all understand that. And I think we're all supportive of that. I think we all get excited for it. I think we all still say choose better spots to put him at because it doesn't always work anymore. That's just me. Since he went home after he lost his title, the spots they bring him back in doesn't always work with me. I don't always feel excited as I was when the bloodline was really, really high. But I'll just tell anyone like that, this is how I know they're overusing Punk. I don't think anyone cares about him and Roman right now. There's no buzz around it. If you stop and think about it, is anybody really talking about it? I go to their social media. I always check behind everything. I always make sure before I start talking about something, I know what I'm talking about. If you go on social media, look at WWE, they're not even really plugging it. I'm sorry, guys. We are at the end of February. We got like 8 days left in February. And with 8 days left in February and WrestleMania being right at the beginning of April, when are we going to start this build? Y'all got the little, I hate you, you hate me, I hate you, I hate you. We did this. I got that. We did that. It worked. So now, when are we going to start building on that? Come on, man. WrestleMania's here. And you're asking for $6 billion quadrillion in Vegas. People, I don't know who's been in Vegas or not been to Vegas recently. But just think about this. Vegas itself is a money pit. So imagine being at a money pit, going to a place that also, the event itself is a money pit. I could only imagine you're going to have a good $20,000, $30,000, if not more, to enjoy yourself WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas. And I'm going to tell you, Vegas ain't worth it. It's not. Oh, it's not. But even outside of that, if the product you put on the screen and one of your biggest draws is Punk versus Roman, and we got a month and we ain't putting no energy into that, come on, my dude. Come on, my G. Come on, my gangster. Come on, my people. There's no way possible that you're going to think that you're going to ask that type of money. You're killing that business. That's what I be trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. And I just want to say that about the show. Moving on. Next thing, because I have a list of things that I always want to cover with you guys that just sits on my heart. I'm an emotional podcast. But AJ from Monday Night. AJ Lee and the man, Becky Lynch. I remember they got into the ring. Can I say something about that segment of Monday Night Raw? Did you guys see it? I saw it. And I don't know if you felt what I felt, but that was one of the wackest, one of the most cringiest things I've seen on Raw in a long time. I got what Becky was trying to do. I get it. I understand I really want to put my hands on you, but I'm a little nervous. I'm supposed to act you. I'm supposed to act. Her acting, it's almost like she said this. It's almost like her verbal mouth said, here's the script. I'm saying this is what I heard come out of her mouth. Here's the script. The script says, I'm supposed to act like I want to hit you, but have the emotions that I'm scared, but I'm not trying to convey it to you. I'm trying to pretend like I'm not scared. That's what she said to me. And I get it. That's the emotion I was supposed to get from that. But it felt so inauthentic. It just felt horrible. It was cringy, is what I'm saying. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I think what it has a large portion to do is that you're gonna learn here at this platform. This word is very popular in my vocabulary, and it's optics. I watched AJ with her nice six pack. Now she do got a nice six pack. AJ, you got it. But when I look at Becky, who looks like straight up and down, and this is no disrespect to Becky Lynch, and there's no disrespect to AJ, because AJ is, even though she got a six pack, she is a little child to me. I'm gonna say, to be honest, I don't know for other demographics, other races of people, but as a Black American man, I don't really give a shit about none of them two, what they're gonna happen to them two. It looked like Real Housewives of the Potomac. That's what it looked like to me in the ring. And ask me how many episodes of that show I've seen. I'll help you. None. It's just funny to me. And I can't do that anymore. But I tell people all the time, this business, I don't understand what they're doing over there. I have my theories. I don't want to beat the drum beat every week on what I think they're actually doing. But it just feels like the world in general is just bland now. So wrestling is no different. It's really boring. It's boring. I give it to you guys like this. I get it. Why do you do the show? Because it's my pastime, man. This is what I do when I'm free. I like to watch the sport with this beautiful face behind my head right now. We get together via Zoom and we watch content. Old, young, new, it's just a bonding thing. I don't want to see the thing that I grew up on die, even if it ain't the end of the world if it does. But no, I don't want to see it die, and I like talking about it. Instead of you being angry about what I'm saying about it, I get it. Y'all, the black man's just race baiting there. I get it. I understand it. Whoop de freaking do. At the end of the day, if I saw your stupid self on the side of the road, and if I felt like you, and I didn't know that you thought the way that you thought, I'd probably help your stupid self too. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm just saying, it ain't personal. I don't think nothing is personal. I just know I'm not the perpetrator of any of this stuff. I am actually the person who has to sit. Fine, I'm going to say it. I am not the victimizer. I am the victim in this situation. You want me to stop acting like a victim? Stop victimizing. It is what it is. But the show is, I agree with that. What my notes said that the crowd is tired of old shows. They're just tired. You know what it is? People are, and they're right. My note was right. People are tired of the same story every week. I'm watching Raw, and I'm sitting there thinking about the spot. Now I'm even going through the list. I'm sitting how the show started. You had to basically have to start an argument between the Vision and LA Knight just because you had nothing to really put on there. So, again, the night of the show, we have to come up with a concept for the show and then put it on that night. No build up, no nothing. No one wanted to see the Usos in LA Knight. Like they said, they ain't cool, they ain't friends, they ain't homies. No one to see the three of them wrestle the Vision again. Nobody wanted to see it. No one had energy when he said, "Oh, hey, Knight." And there's no disrespect to LA Knight at this point. I just think it's the crowd. They just said, okay, we know what we're going to get. Y'all guys are going to do this 3-man tag at the end of the show. It's going to end in melee and chaos. And at the end of it, either the Vision will end up on top, ha ha ha. Or at the end of it, the baby faces will end up at top with yeet. That's what we're going to get. And I'm going to tell you, no one wants to see that. because it seems old. It's like watching the same movie that you know the ending's gonna happen. You love the movie, you know what's gonna happen. You stay for the scene. Oh shit, here comes the car scene. Okay, here it comes. Boom, I love that scene, I do. But eventually you get tired of watching it. And that's where we're at. I'll tell you, I'll give you an example of, I'll say this. I went to, past weekend, I went to medieval times. My old lady took me to medieval times for my birthday this past weekend. And we had medieval times, and I've never been. I don't know if you guys ever been, but it's basically a show that they do in a place called Medieval Times. They feed you a meal. It's in like colonial times. They have like Roman times where they have the arena, so they have a duel and all this other stuff, and it basically mirrors wrestling. Same thing. They have a script that they have to follow. They have choreographed moves that they have to do, and they have a whole experience in the show. It is literally wrestling, medieval times. If you're into wrestling and if you're into period pieces, definitely go check out this movie. I mean, go check out Medieval Times. But I'm watching the show, and I'm thinking to myself, because it's a whole story that they're doing. I couldn't keep up with the story for multiple reasons. For one, well, the layout of the place, they were really far away and the mic was kind of low. But even outside of that, they didn't have enough fisticuffs in there or a great enough story. If they had a better story and better choreographed moves, that shit is gonna be fire. But I think for them, they are going with the same story over and over and over again. Because I actually even wanted the bed winches. That's what they call the waitresses, winches and bed winches. It was funny. I told you they're trying to be authentic to the time. And I said, does the ending happen the same way every time? She said, pretty much for a while it does, and then they may switch it every couple of months or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, oh no. See, you're already turned off customers because I don't want to come back and watch. Because I know what's going to happen if I come back in 2-3 weeks. You're going to do the same thing. Wrestling, you're doing the same thing. You're just doing it with different people every night. And it's getting stale and it's getting old, and the people are just wanting to move on from it. I don't know what you're going to do, but you need to do something, and you need to do it fast. But I digress. I'll move on from that. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. No one cared about the beginning of that show. I didn't give a shit about it. I know you didn't give a shit about it. So, and then like I said, in the match, you go in there, they get to fight in the whole nine. We still trying to figure out who the masked person is. I think it's that Waller, was it Grayson Waller? I think it's him. I don't know if they're going to have it be him when they take the mask off, but the person that you're seeing right now, I think it's him. I was thinking it was Logan Paul, but I think I've seen Paul in the ring when the mask guy was there. So for me, I don't know where they're going, but that's that. The mystery box sounds like it's Jericho. Again, we can figure out a way to find the white guy that was wrestling out of shape, old, don't nobody care no more about. And the career has been well over the hill. We figure out a way to always get this motherfucker back on the roster, though, don't we? But where's any of these black superstar amazing people that you people keep saying that I'm overlooking? Because I don't see them ever show back up. That's just my opinion. I'm be honest with you. I'm a kind of roll because we getting long winded the show anyway. I don't like to keep it over an hour if I can. I don't want to bury it. Unless you guys ever want to tell me you want longer than an hour, I'll give you more than an hour. But the Natty Oscar and Bailey match, I get it. I don't care. I've seen it. Seen it once, seen it twice, seen it 8 billion times. If I look at how many times these people wrestle, they probably said, we wrestled each other 1 million times at this point. Yeah, and we know. We feel like it. No one really cares. And maybe it's just me, but as a black man, this is my podcast. So for me, anybody who like my podcast, I would think y'all agree with me, not them. Then with the Stephanie McCure and then Liv, let me tell WWE something. WWE, I'll tell you just like I tell the American government right now, and everybody else is doing the same thing. I get it. Caucasian numbers are slipping. Y'all have a zero birth rate. I'm not trying to make it personal. I'm just speaking facts. This is not my emotions. Don't get mad at me. Stop it, people. Okay? All that I'm saying is that I understand that your birth numbers are slipping. You have to replenish your numbers. You're letting in a lot of immigrants. They're all, majority of them are classifying themselves on paperwork as white. Your numbers will grow again. I get it. I'm going to tell you, though, even for the average American white person now that's here, they don't want to see a lady who doesn't speak the American language. She doesn't speak English. So since Stephanie Verkera doesn't speak English, the effect of what you want us to feel for her kind of gets lost in translation. It's like watching subtitles in the movie. How many of you guys go to the movie theater, get popcorn, spend $8 billion to sit there and watch something in another language because you got to read? Nobody. So why do you think people are gonna spend $8 million to come out to WrestleMania to watch Stephanie Verkera and we don't know what she's saying? I get it. I get it, WWE. We don't want Negroes. So we got to have diversity. So let's pick another group of people. So we're going to pick Latinos and stuff. That's fine. Pick a Latina that is Americanized and that looks Latino. Because her and the Big Rodriguez, that's what we call over here, Big Rodriguez, they don't hit because their language, and at least Big Rodriguez speak English. This Valkyria lady is, and I'm not trying to take from her, because I think the little Valkyria girl got a little hot little body, but that's no sexism. That's just me being a man, okay? So it ain't the fact that I want to see her feel. She got a nice little body. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. So don't really hit with me. I guess I can't get into Punk versus Balor. I can't. You want to know why? I said this about Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. No one cares for the elimination matches because we all know it's just a stopover. It ain't a WrestleMania. So with that being said, we all know that right now that CM Punk and Finn Balor are not. Finn Balor's not winning the title. So to me, I don't know why WWE don't understand. Again, the theme of the show is why y'all got this. Y'all can't pivot from the old shows and can't think of new concepts. But we all know the outcome from Elimination Chamber. Finn Balor loses, CM Punk wins. He goes on to WrestleMania to wrestle CM Punk for the heavyweight title. That's what you're gonna see. I don't know why you think WWE, luckily we're streaming on apps. But this is why too, I also tell you, since you're putting it on, you're asking American people to go to ESPN and spend $30-some damn dollars to watch Finn Balor lose to CM Punk, like we all know that's gonna happen. No thank you, don't want to see. Everybody knows it's gonna happen. I don't know if the Stephanie Verkera is on the ticket, but we know she ain't losing to nobody until she wrestles Liv Morgan. We all know this is gonna happen. And I would just say, wrestling. Understand this. We all know boxing has an element of rigging to it. So we're gonna use the context of boxing. At least boxing understand you have to build something up to make people want to come spend money. You guys are being lazy. You have relying on nostalgia to keep your business afloat. And now people are saying, enough. Since I know I have a larger black audience, I love my black folks. Black folks, stand up. Boop, boop. To my black folks that are watching, a lot of black folks didn't show up for the election this year. This didn't come out and vote at all because they said, man, what's the point? We get Democrat, we get Republican, it don't make no difference. We just fail. And I think that was the first time in history, it probably shocked both parties. Oh shit, they ain't really coming out like they normally do. We normally get them a whole bunch of live games and commercials for 2, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, and they just come out and drove. Or we scare them to death and they come out and drove. They didn't move. So I hate to tell you, in wrestling, it's the same thing's happening. I know before you could rely on nostalgia, but you can't anymore because the audience that is watching this program is like, I'd rather have something new now. I don't really want to do this anymore. And I don't think y'all guys will get the memo, but I get it. Your head's in the clouds. You guys up there with all the money and all the luxury, and you don't have to be down here with the day-to-day people. But I'm going to tell you, television it's pugning itself to die. It's gone. It's out of here. And like, I tell you right now, I keep saying this a lot, and I'll say it again. If it was me, if I had the money, I would do it. If I had the money to put into starting an organization, I know exactly what to do to make it hot. And what it is to make it hot is get fresh, new ideas. First, let me say this real quick before I move on. This is all you have to do to make it hot. First and foremost, you want people to be authentically themselves. That is how you get a star. That is not creating a star. You don't get a lot of John Cena's the way you can create him out of nothing. That rarely happens. That's called a statistical anomaly. What you want people to be themselves or the character that they want to present, and then that person becomes the star. We don't pick them at the organization. The people pick who they want. The person in the ring is going to sink or swim on their own. We determine the outcomes of the matches. We determine the outcomes of the storylines. But in the middle of those storylines, you're not going to do two, and that's part two. Part two is the storylines can't be one way to make one group of people, no matter who's in the ring, look a certain way. No, we have to be diverse. No, we have to make this thing fresh, new ideas. Remember the 80s and the 90s when you got all new concepts and ideas and thought processes and movies and everything else? Then in 2000, they said, oh, let's just reboot those things. No, think of new things. So the new group can then think about rebooting us. Nobody's rebooting this stuff because we're rebooting the same shit from the 90s and the 80s. Let's move on. So in my organization, again, like I said, we're going to have it to where the person gets in the ring. I'm going to tell you, when you go out there, is Rocky J, and you go out there, is Mr. John, and when y'all wrestle each other, if neither one of you resonate with the crowd, then we're going to move on from you. You didn't cut it. That's how it should be. Not this other, we're going to handpick you, we're going to shove you down the people's throat until they have no other choice. No, the numbers dwindle. And I'm not saying do what the fans want all the time. You create the story. Yes, you can make a star. You see potential in the person that may be in the ring wrestling at practice time and say, hey, you have something with that. You may want to turn your character into that versus what you're doing, because that's amazing too. That person doesn't have to do it. But guess what they just have now? They have some alternative if that isn't working. I'll give them my opportunity to run off of it. Neither one will work, we move on. But it's an easier way to get it done. The production value of the thing, no one has a problem with WWE. What I would just do if I had my organization, I'll get comparable people, if not the same people that they had before, if not now, and try to get them to come work for my company. But what we're going to do in this place is that you can make it better. Music can be better. The way you present the show could be better. To be honest, I love what they did with NXT. They need to do that on the East Coast and the West Coast. And they need to put one big ass arena. And in that way, the Rumble is at one arena on every year. And you have to travel to that. And WrestleMania is at an arena. And then you have to travel to that. It keeps costs down for the company. And also, it's an event for people. You know how people like to go to Sturgis. And people like to go off to Freaknik when it was held. People like to go to Bike Week. People like to go to things. It's an event. You don't always want to wait till it come to your city. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I would do all these different things. It's ways around it. They don't want it. That's what I see. They don't want it. The Intercontinental. Let me say this about first and foremost. The Intercontinental thing with them. Look, WWE. I get it. You like the mass man. I get it. They can flip around. But you want to know why the world uses NBA players to market products and not NFL players a lot of the time? Because NFL players got a helmet on their head. Don't nobody know what the hell they look like. You want to know how I know what I'm talking about? Go ask a woman what an NFL player look like. She don't know, but she know what all them basketball players look like because they face always every so well. So I would say, if you're going to have some wrestlers flip all around the ring, you see why Javon's popular? Because Javon is jumping all around and he has his face showing. You're going to have to show your face. People just don't love it. Rey Mysterio is the statistical anomaly for us Americans. Do the luchadors have an audience? Yes. We not the luchadors audience. So for me, after what, that's why I said last week, I don't want to see Javon down there jumping around with these people. No. Javon needs to be somewhere doing real work with real people. That's just my opinion. With some real people. Let him and Dominic go at it like my Desipu said. Desipu said that Dominic and Javon have a feud for the Intercontinental belt. You want a good ticket at WrestleMania? You don't like to do a build-up any fucking way? Put Javon and Dominic in the thing right there and have them really go at it. That could probably be a show. They'll fumble that too. So, again, I said the whole AJ and them thing, I got up again. I don't even want to talk about AJ and them. I don't care. The Javon and them, I will tell you this. I'll give credit where credit is due. I always say this to people. I am not here hating. I know you want to say he's just angry black man. I'm not. You do something right, I'll say you did it right. You do something wrong, I'm going to say you did it wrong. Something I think you got right is putting Javon into the elimination chamber. Smart. You know you need somebody in there that's going to draw some attention. The elimination chamber has to be entertaining. Gunther just won't gonna be that dude. Dominic won't gonna be that dude in there. You needed somebody to go show up. So at least you understood. At least if you want people to get excited for this match, you needed somebody they knew they could go watch and have a good time seeing, and that's Javon. Now, to all the people who love Javon, get it out your greasy heads. This man ain't sniffing no titles or no wins and anything that night. We all know it. He's gonna get used for his talent, and we're gonna move on from him. All that I would say is this, and I want some people to bookmark it on this episode right now. Somebody can find this. If I can find it, I want to come back to it in a year. If they're going to do Javon right within a year, Javon, this time next year, Javon should have either held a title or currently holding a title within a year. That will tell me whether they plan on moving him as a directory up or not. And I'll speak to it. I was going to wait for Mr. Desmond, but I'll talk about it. With him, I don't have a problem with what Kevin Nash said, if I heard him correctly. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I glimpsed through and I saw his quote on somebody else's page. Now, they could have cropped it out and I didn't see the whole thing. But from when I saw what he said about Javon, I totally agree. I do not want them to mismanage that brother. I do not want him to be looking like a character on the screen and he just out here flipping around for no fucking reason. That boy needs to be groomed into something. And it, like you say, I heard they're taking Soruka off. I heard they're taking her, they're ready to give her a makeover of some sort because she's ready to come into the main roster because they really see something in her. You see how they're doing that? They're protecting her image. Javon's just jumping around right there. I want them to protect his image. We're going to keep beating that drum beat on that young man versus all the rest of them. The rest of these men are grown men. We still look at Javon as a kid, and I think we all look at him as we want to protect him. So y'all can get mad as all you want to, but we going to damn sure stand up for Javon because Javon needs to be taken care of properly. And then damn sure help that this young man is from North Carolina like me. Whoop, whoop. Anyways, man, let me get out of here. Talk to you guys today. Can't talk to you all day. Look, guys, that was today's episode of Race to Wrestling. The Chamber's coming up, so hopefully me and Miss Hopefully me and Miss Despo will get a show in before then. And we're gonna get back with you guys soon. I appreciate the love, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.